Saturday afternoon, and we are live. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's Lady Victoria with Victoria School of Etiquette, and I'm broadcasting to you live from the great windy city of Chicago. Chi-Town is what we like to call it. We are the best in the Midwest, and I want to thank you for being a part of our platform or part of our live on this afternoon. I am your etiquette educator and your worthy life coach. And since it is Saturday, I am here in the studio. Pardon me, throat is so dry. Just needs a little sip of water there. But I am live in the studio on Saturdays. And oftentimes you will find that this is where I am. Let's see. This is the studio on this week. So I want to show you what I have in store for you today. Excuse me. This coughing will get started when I'm going live. So listen, I'm going to have my glass of water here with me so I can take a sip. It didn't start until I hit the live button. But anyway, you can see my table that I have set up here. I think last week we did breakfast and brunch. And this week we're going to do snacking. So you all come on in, tag a neighbor, tag a friend, excuse me, and come on in and let's enjoy the experience on this afternoon. So as you can see, I have the table set up for a little bit of snacks. Now this one is a little bit elaborate, but this is typically what I have in the studio because we always want to present our best foot forward. So this is what we have on today. I meant to show a picture earlier, but I forgot to put that up. I can put it up later of some of the snack things that we had, but you can see them live here on the table. Now, I did do a video a few weeks ago about snacking. How do you share a snack? Good afternoon. Thank you for joining. How do you share a snack? And I did say that I would come back on and do another one as I am doing this one on this afternoon and go into a little bit of detail about having a snack and how you share your snack. So let's go back to the table. And again, you can see the table. And like I said, this one is elaborately set up. Normally, most people probably would not have a snack table set up this way. But when you are in a really nice dining situation, or if someone just wants to show the elegance of how to share a snack or how to just enjoy a meal, you know, I always talk about that having a meal should be an experience every single time. So this table is set up, and you can see here where I have some chinaware here. I have a bowl of fruit here. I have another bowl of fruit there at the end of the table. Here we have some grapes, we have some apples, we have some bananas, and you can see on the table we have some cookies. Here we have a bowl of cashews. Here we have a bowl of peanut butter pretzels. And back here is where we have a bowl of chips. And you can see here we have some tea. These are the tea bags. Here would be your sugar. This is the tea. This is the teapot. Of course, the other bowl of fruit over here. And then, of course, we have a variety of drinks. Hey, Annette. How are you doing? Thank you, lady. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. So we want to go on in and talk about this snack sharing because I talked about it before, but I didn't have a display. So today we have a display. So let's just start with the fruit. So here we have a plate of fruit, and we have some bananas, we have red and green apples, and we have some grapes. So if you were going to have a portion of this snack, here you would take your plate here that is to your left, right? We also have a knife here. This would be for you because you can see the fruit is not cut up. It's not cut up, but here we have our knife here. So you would take your knife, you would cut your portion of the fruit, you would then transfer it to your plate, and then you would put the knife back because the tablecloth on the table is always to add beauty to the dining experience. And you never want to soil anything on the tablecloth. So once your utensil leaves the table, it never goes back on the tablecloth. So hence I have a napkin here for you to rest it there. If you wanted a cookie that is here on this side, you could just take the package and you would also put that on your plate there. So that's how you would serve yourself. Now we're going over here to these peanut butter pretzels, which I absolutely love. I snack on them all the time. These are salted, so if you are worried about your salt intake, then you can rub some of the salt off of them, as I oftentimes do, or you can just make sure that you only eat a few of them. You don't have to eat a whole bunch of them. You always want to eat just a serving size if you're concerned about that. And for that, to help you and aid you and assist you with that, I have these little snacking containers. They're right here. So you would take one, right? You would take yours. You would take the spoon that is here. This is going to be the serving spoon for the pretzels. You take a serving. It ends up there. You want a little bit more? Take a half of a serving. And then you can see here now your snacking container is full. If you're going to put it on a plate, you would plate it there, right? Along with your cookie that was already here and along with a portion of the fruit. Now I'm going to backtrack just a little bit over here. I'm going to take one of the bananas, right? I'm going to move the fruit over here and I'm going to just take a portion of this banana. Remember I said, so here's the knife. So I'm going to take it and I'm just going to cut myself a portion. I'm cutting myself just a portion of the banana, right? And now it's cut, and I said that the knife then rests here on the napkin. And so here's my banana over here with my plate that has my cookie and it has my pretzels. But I love cashews, so I really would like some of those as well. So I'm going to go here and here's the serving spoon over here on a napkin. I'm going to serve myself a serving of cashews. A serving is typically one serving that fills the bowl of the spoon. So I'm serving myself a serving and a half. And so now I'm going to take this and also plate it on my snack plate. Now, my plate is just about full, right? I have a cookie, I have cashews, I have about a third of a banana, and I have some pretzels. Ah, man, there's some chips back there, and I'd really like to have some of those as well. But since my plate is full, what should I do? Should I sit down and enjoy, or should I grab something else and stockpile my plate? No, we should not stockpile our plate because the chips are here, barbecue, which are also my favorite, okay? Again, there are a lot of favorite dishes that I have here, but I won't take any of the chips because my plate is already full, right? And you notice that on your snack plate, it is smaller than a dinner plate. So you don't need a dinner plate for snack items. You just need a small plate because snacking is a small meal, just like appetizers, it is a small meal. So you take this. Let's always put our spoons back in their rightful places or our servingware back in their rightful places when we are done. So I'm here with the cashews. I'm putting that back. And there is a drink over here that I would like. I have a variety. I have some water. I only have one water bottle, you all. I'm sorry. But let's just pretend that there are more and that they are smaller. Hi, Demetria. Let's pretend that we have more of the water bottles and they're smaller. So you just take one. There are 3 drink choices. I have water, I have an aloe vera drink, and I have some bubbly lime water. So which one am I going to take? I really like the aloe vera, but I'd really like to try this bubbly, but I've never tried it before. Should I take the whole can? What if I don't like it? What if it's a little too limey for me? So in a situation like this, you would take a small cup, which I neglected to set out, so I apologize for that. But you would take a small cup and pour a portion in there, and then you would take the cup and you would go. But to always be on the safe side, always choose something that you know that you already like. So then for me, I would choose this drink here, the aloe vera drink. I would take this, and then I would take my snack plate, and I would go and sit down, and I have my snack plate here. Hey, Damon. Hey, classmate. I would take it and I would sit here. Now, it's a snack plate. There aren't any tables. There's no place for me to set it. So where do I set it? You would take it, and in this instance, it's all finger food. So, since the host or the hostess did not provide you a separate table for you to sit at, then that means that it's a lap dish. So you can take the lap dish and you set it in your lap, but what do you need before that? Before that, you need a napkin. So you need a napkin, right? So here's an extra one here. So I take this along with my snack plate. I'm going back to my place where I'm sitting. The first thing I do before I put my plate on my lap is to put my napkin in my lap. And I'm unfolding it, trying to navigate all of this. I sit down, and then here is my napkin. You can see it on my lap. And then here is my snack plate, also on my lap. And I have finger food. So I can then take a pretzel bite and I can consume it. I have a few nuts, so I can take those. It's finger food. So I take one and I can consume it. Let me turn the camera around. So here you can see I've taken one and I just have it and I can consume this. The same thing with the banana. Remember the banana, I only cut it and I took a portion of it. So then you peel the banana back, the skin, and it's finger food. So I peel it and then I take a bite. And when I take a bite, remember I did the other video a while back about bite-sized pieces. So I'm not trying to consume this entire piece in one setting. For me, this is anywhere from 3 to 5 bites, if not more, because you're only taking a bite-sized piece. So a bite size is as much as you can take into your mouth without overextending. Now, I will say this about bite size. Bite size is different for different people because people have different sized mouths. Everybody's mouth is not the same size, is not the same diameter. So what it takes to fill my mouth might be less or more than what it takes to fill another person's. But when you're snacking, when it's a regular meal, you're always taking bite-sized pieces and bite-sized portions only. And then you take your bite-sized portions. Of course, you chew, mouth closed, and you chew. How many chews are you supposed to chew your food? The standard is anywhere from 12, oh my gosh, now I'm forgetting, 12 to, I want to say 12 to 22 chews. I think it's 12 to 22 for you to completely chew your food. But it also depends on what it is you are consuming. Because now this banana is softer than the cashews and it's softer, most definitely softer than the pretzels. So the coarser your food is, hi Tonil, thought you were on vacation. The coarser your food is, or the sturdier your food is, the thicker your food is, the more times it might take you to chew and consume before you get it to a consistency that you swallow. So you always want to be mindful of bite-sized pieces. How many times does it take you to chew? On the cashews, you're probably not going to eat one at a time. You're probably going to consume a little bit of a handful, a small handful, or again, if I were having a dinner party like this, then I would have probably the small appetizer spoons, which are smaller, and people that feel comfortable could use the appetizer spoon as their serving portion when they're beginning to ingest the food, when you're beginning to eat it. So you take the smaller, it's smaller than a regular teaspoon. You take that and you fill it, you fill the bowl of it, you put it in your mouth, and then you chew, and of course the spoon goes back to rest on your serving plate because we are sitting here with the food on our laps. Remember, because the hostess did not provide extra tables or there are no standing room. If you're in a situation and there is standing room, then you just stand. You should always take your napkin with you when you're going to stand. Let me see if I can demo that. Oh, let's see if I can demo that right quickly. So let's say that we are in a place and we can stand. Turn the camera around so you can see. Okay, so here I am with my snack, right? And I'm standing. And let's pretend that this table is out from the wall and there are other people standing around on the other side. So we'd all be standing here and I have my food and then we could just stand. You see, I still have my napkin underneath. In a situation like this where you're standing, I recommend that you not have your napkin there, but that you have your napkin perhaps here. This way, when you need it, you can take your napkin. You always take a corner of your napkin. You take your corner. I have my 2 fingers here. You take the 2 fingers up under the napkin, and then when I need to dab the corners of my mouth, I just dab. My napkin is readily available. I don't have to remove it from under my plate as I did before as I was beginning to demo. So this is how we would do a snack when we are in a setting where we're all snacking together. Let's say that we were at Tony's Book Awards, right? And everybody was standing around and they had their plates. And so this is how we would do it. This is how you would serve yourself from the spread that is set out before you. You grab your plate, you grab your food, you fill it, and as you are going around the table, I did something, and I did it deliberately to see if anyone would comment, but nobody commented, so I'm going to give it away. When I first came to the table, I started here and I got my fruit, and then I went here and I got my peanut butter pretzels, and then I crossed over back here and came over here and got my cashews. That's typically not how it would be done. When you begin, you start at the wherever the major meal is, the major portion is, wherever you're going to start at the head of the table, and you always go in one direction. So you always are, you offer to your left when you're sitting down, and cleanup is done on the right. So when you are in a situation like this and you're going around the table, so let's go to the left. So I would have gone here, I would have gone here, I would have gone here, I would have gone to the pretzels, then I would have gone to the chips, and then I would have gone over here and decided if I wanted hot tea. You can see the tea bags are here. This is the tea, this is the sugar, this is the teapot with the hot water. I would have passed over. I got fruit down there, so I don't need fruit. And then I would have come all the way around and picked up my drink. But I crossed over. So that's something that we don't do. We don't go in two directions. Food, right, don't backtrack in that. Food goes in one direction. When you're passing food at the table, you offer to the person that's on your left, wherever you're sitting, you offer to that person, may I serve you some potatoes? May I serve you some chicken? They say yes. You serve them first, then you serve yourself, and then you pass to the right, to the person to your right, and they keep it going. The food always goes in one direction, and when we are snacking in a fashion as this, we always also go in one direction. So this is how you would share a snack when you're in a setting, and like I said, typically snacks may not be set up as elaborate as this, but in the studio, I always want to offer you my best, and this is what I have to offer on this afternoon. We didn't talk about your cookie, but your cookie is pre-packaged, so you don't have to worry about that. You always, I said, grab one of everything. You always grab enough to fill your plate. Once your plate is full, then you are done. After everyone else has been served and you would like seconds, then you can go for the second go round. But let's be courteous enough to allow all of the guests to be able to partake of the food, partake of the snack that is there, give everyone a chance, and then you may go back for seconds, right? And so when you're going back for seconds, you always start with a clean plate. You never take the plate that you've already used, it's soiled. because you've already had food on it. If it's disposable, of course you dispose it and you grab a fresh one. If it's not disposable, as these plates here this afternoon are not disposable, but you set that plate aside, the hostess should have a place set aside where you can dispose or where you can place your dirty dishware, and you always come back and get a fresh plate all the time. If you are consuming your liquid out of the bottle, you need to make sure that you keep up with your bottle, because you don't want someone else's lips on your bottle and they don't want someone else's lips on theirs. So maybe you can put your initials on it if you don't have the little beverage tags that you can put on a bottle or that you can oftentimes put on a glass. Where was my glass that I was drinking out of? My glass. If you don't have a regular glass, like this, or some kind of glass like this, where you can put a tag, an identifying tag on your glass. Maybe you like dogs, and so someone might have, pet tags. And so, I mean, it's just not a pet tag. It's in the shape of a pet. It's in the shape of an animal, or it might be various colors or flowers. So you pick yours, and that's how you tag your glass. That's how you do that. But when you're drinking straight from the bottle or straight from the can, you need to mark yours, or you keep up with it all the time so you don't set it somewhere and then you come back to the table and there are multiple glasses. Uh-oh, which one is mine? Which one is mine? Another little tip about snacking, like I said, everything we have here is kind of formal looking. My glass that I was drinking water out of, I always tell ladies, when you're drinking, especially in a public setting, now you can see I have on lipstick today. Almost every day I have on lipstick. But on my lipstick, if I drink from this glass, it's probably going to stain because most lipsticks have oils in them. And so when you're in a public setting, you don't want to stain the stemware. You most certainly don't want to stain the napkins. In a restaurant, in a public setting, oftentimes when the oils from lipstick or food gets on their restaurateurs, oftentimes end up throwing them out because it costs much more to launder them, especially when they are white. So I always suggest to ladies, blot your lips before you take a drink, and before you take a dab. Even though it's to the corners, we're never doing this with our napkins, ladies. And we don't, clean up our oily spots on our faces from our makeup and our oily shine through. We don't do that with our napkins either. But I know that you know those things already. But I just wanted to come on and share, how do you share your snacks? So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below. If not, you can always reach me by the information that's on the front of the screen. My website is there, www.vsetc16.com for Victoria School of Etiquette. Same handle for my Gmail, vsetc16@gmail, and you can follow me on Instagram at ladyve_el for Lady VL for Victoria School of Etiquette. Thank you, ladies and gents, for being a part of our platform on this afternoon. I greatly appreciate you liking and sharing across your various social media platforms. Listen, if you've not joined my YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel by the same name, Victoria School of Etiquette. Please go on over there, hit the subscribe button. That way you have access to all of our video material at your convenience when it's 2 a.m. and you're wondering, what did Lady V say about that snacking? Am I supposed to go in one direction or the other direction? You can just pop it on. It'll be there for you. So this will be available later on this afternoon. Again, thank you, ladies and gents, for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And I always tell you all of the time, the manners that you practice at home, those are the ones that will show up in public. So when you're at home and you're sitting down and it's comfy and it's just you and you just want to eat out of the bag, hey, you can do that sometimes. But remember, those manners that you practice at home are the ones that will show up publicly. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for joining me for our Life Skills Etiquette portion on Studio Saturdays. Until the next time, bye for now.